Well, hello, everybody out there in possibility land. It's so good to be here with you tonight. I'm gonna like riff for a few minutes and keep you entertained while my wonderful cohort gets us on all the right screens out there. Every single Monday night at 6 o'clock Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, we come to you with some information about the Park Lane opportunity, and we are so excited to be here tonight on June 10th, talking to you about the wonderfulness of Park Lane. How are you doing, Janine?
I am really good. How are you?
Good.
I want to share this to our group, so I'm trying to find it.
We go out on the business page. We go out live on YouTube. If you're watching right now, you're seeing us there. And we want to get into the Grace and Grit studio because we have lots of people that flip on over there in order to listen to us.
Yeah, I was actually letting people in a couple seconds.
Okay.
So that's why I'm trying to get it over there. So just give me 1 second because it's not coming up. Here we go. Now it's giving me more options. It didn't give me more options the first time.
And not to tell you how to do your job, but one thing we want to make sure we're doing is rewarding people for sharing like early in.
Click. Yep. And we're going to share from the business page, from the Grace and Grit business page. So Grace and Grit Studio has a business page and a group. We are in both places right now. So welcome everyone. And if you are watching this from the business page, you can click the share button. I just want to make sure everything's going okay here because I don't see us. So give me 1 second. Oh, okay. We're there. Okay. We're there. So drop a comment. Let us know once you're in here, if you're watching this live or catching it on the replay. What we are going to do tonight is a series of 4 questions that I'm going to ask Mary Grace, who's our Executive Company Vice President. She is the leader of the Grace and Grit organization. And I'm going to ask her 4 questions that, quite frankly, are questions that, people just commonly ask. So these are just going to be things that people commonly ask. She has great answers for them that I think can really give you the information you might be looking for. And I just want you to listen with an open mind. That's all. And when we're done, you can go ahead and fill out the Google form. We'll let you know where that is. I'll put it up in the on the page, but on the studio side, it's the group. It's actually right at the top. So we have it linked at the top for you. But you know what, Mary Grace, how are you tonight? Happy Monday.
Hey, hanging in there. Happy to be here with you, talking about this wonderful opportunity.
Well, the first question I think that we always need to address, and hello to everyone who's joining us. Thank you so much. The first question that I always feel like we need to address is why direct sales? Can you explain a little bit about what direct sales is, please?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you that I think one of the reasons that I'm really a great choice for doing this is I'm just so average, and I have like average thoughts and average reactions. And if someone had said direct sales to me many, many years ago, I automatically would have had my head go to a wrong place. Like, is that one of those pyramid schemes, or no, I need a real job or whatever? And it's like direct sales, you guys, it's not multi-level marketing. Direct sales is direct to the consumer. That's really the short, simple definition of it. And our company happens to be one of the direct sales companies that's doing really well right now. And it actually is a forum in which people are enjoying shopping tremendously, because in today's world, especially, even though 78% of our reps do online only, as opposed to like in-home or in-person showings of the jewelry, they want the customer wants that personal touch. They don't really have anyone to talk to at Amazon. They don't really have a person to give them advice or whatever. We're just full of all kinds of advice and great customer service and all that. So we just serve as a liaison between the company and the customer. And it's really like running your own business, but without the overhead or the risk. And goodness knows, if you guys have watched this before, you've heard me tell this story, but I never get sick of my own story about David Bach. And David Bach wrote The Automatic Millionaire. And I just found this so fascinating. Believe it or not, I was listening to him on a cassette tape about 20 years ago. Yeah. He wrote The Automatic Millionaire, and he decided to do a whole little thing about direct sales. Not a little thing, kind of a big thing. And he said that when he first started his company, and he was really super stoked to share this, how to become a millionaire in a short time with average people like you and me. I don't mean you're average, but really just everyday people that don't have trust funds or, aren't the executive giants or something, that just everyday people like me, who was a teacher at that time, how we could become millionaires in a relatively short time using the, the growth exponential of investing. And he came up with a figure of just $300 to $500 a month. And if people could invest $300 to $500 a month, how they literally would be millionaires within like a short time, 8 to 10 years or something like that. Well, what was so discouraging to him, and this happens to us in life too, is his plan kind of tanked, because what he started to realize is he goes, man, we got a way bigger problem than turning people into millionaires. We have a problem of people living beyond their means. He said the average person that he was running into wasn't just living paycheck to paycheck, but beyond paycheck to paycheck, meaning that they literally needed to put something on a credit card, or have like an additional loan or something in order to pull off what they needed to pull off in life. So they certainly weren't going to make investing $300 to $500 a month a priority. So what he said is, okay, now I'm on a mission to help these people be able to do that. And naturally, as you can imagine, just if any of you out there, if someone rolled out the carpet for you and said, here are your options. Do you want to move? Do you want to get a whole nother job? Does somebody who's not working and has committed to staying home with kids want to go back to work? And he said none of the options were very appealing to people. And then he says it just like this. He goes, and that's when I discovered directed sales. And he said, it's like the mothership of opportunity. He said, it is everything, every objection that anybody had could be answered by going into direct sales. And he said, you decide your hours. You decide when you can work. You decide from where you can work. You decide how you want to work. You decide how much money you want to make and how fast you need to make it. You decide when you need a break. You decide where you want to be when you want to be there. And it is exactly how this career has been to me. Absolutely wonderful. And that's just one option. Yeah, investing $300 to $500 a month. But you guys just think about the needs that you have out there. What if it's just putting your kid into a summer sport?
Right.
$300 to $500. What if it's buying their hockey equipment? What if it's paying for Christmas? There's just so many different things where you could not upset your entire life. Be able to have this on the side, and be able to make so many of your dreams come true. Right. I love it.
Well, now that we know what direct sales is, and we know that that's the answer, why jewelry? Because there's so many different direct sales companies.
There really is. There's so many different items out there. So many different people getting into direct sales. And quite honestly, I used to work for another company, Mm-hmm. I kind of fell into my other company. It was candles, because I went to a party and I liked the product. You fell into baskets because you were a collector and you liked the product, right? So a lot of times we just kind of fall into whatever we choose. And I'm really a person that used to say like, jewelry, I don't really do a lot of jewelry. Well, boy, have I learned the error of my ways, because once I had the skill set of direct sales and started to hear about the advantages of selling jewelry, it presented a whole different ballgame to me. Right. So Park Lane, we'll get to this a little bit, but we're one of the only companies that recognizes and hires people based on experience. So if you're out there and you know someone that's a higher level leader or a lower level leader or has experience in direct sales, we can offer them a better package than the brand new consultant, because they have earned that right with the experience that they've put in. But I digress. So anyway, but when I was concerned about my other company and I started looking into Park Lane, I realized through a lot of things I heard, the research that I did, that, oh my gosh, jewelry is the place to be. Absolutely the place to be. And now I've lived it, and I've doubled or tripled my sales, my income, everything that I was able to do in my other company. Now, when the Levine family were a family-owned company, and when they were opening the company in 1955, they needed to decide what product, and they went about it in a really smart way, and they hired consultant companies. They hired 3 separate consulting companies, and they said to each of the consultants, none of whom knew about the other because they wanted to be really unbiased, they said to each of them, go out in the world, do your homework, come back with your top 3 product choices, and be ready to defend your answers. Honestly, the Levines were not expecting this. They thought it was going to be an in-home product, like a pots and pans or something, right?
Well, here come all, that's what was out there. Yeah.
They really did. Here come all 3 consultants with number 1 as jewelry. All of the other choices were, not exactly the same, but one across the top. And they go, okay, tell us why. And this is where I'm going with it. Now I've experienced it. But jewelry is universally appealing. I mean, our demographic to whom we sell is really basically everybody when you think about it. It withstands the test of time because it's been around since BC, and projections and forecasts show that it's going to just go up, up, up in the next years and beyond. There's no slowing down of it. It withstands the test of time. I think I just said that. I didn't mean to repeat myself. It's one of the top 3 gifts in the world: candy, flowers, and jewelry. So even if people say they don't wear much jewelry, they do purchase it for other people. In fact, something that makes us chuckle, all of us in this industry, is when we were high achievers at other companies, a lot of times the incentive gifts were
jewelry.
Jewelry. Yeah. Now, I could say way more about the customer base, but let's look at it from our standpoint too, right? The fashion stylists, the actual dealers of the jewelry. How amazing is it that people wear our product? How amazing it is that we wear our product, okay? So that is like an easy sell recommendation and referral program right there, because people are out in the world and people are saying, where did you get that? I love it, right? And it's coming right back to us. That did not happen with the other products unless they happen to be in your home. But with the jewelry, everywhere we go, okay? We're wearing it too. So we actually can, make the same, build relationships when people give us compliments and stuff. And as a person that really does want to give back and leave the world better than I found it, as silly as it sounds, jewelry is an amazing product to sell because it does, seriously, it's the number 1 conversation starter in the world. It's the number 1 thing that people get compliments on. And it's actually been proven to raise serotonin levels when people catch themselves in a little bit of sparkle, or obviously when they get those compliments in the socialization. It's very inexpensive to ship and store. Okay. We can carry a little purse with some jewelry in it when we're going to do like an in-home anything or an in-person anything. And it's very doable to share it online. So it really checks all of the boxes. It's an amazing product.
I love that you explain why jewelry. Like you really give a detailed explanation of why, because there's so many things out there you can choose from. So now here's my next question. If we know jewelry is the way to go, why Park Lane?
If you were to Google, like I'm thinking of going in direct sales, one of the pieces of advice that always comes up is pick a product that you love. And I do think that's important, but I can honestly tell you I wasn't a huge jewelry lover. I sure am now. But it's smarter to pick a product that most other people love, right?
Very true. Very true.
Okay, now Park Lane. Again, this is a little bit of a personal experience that I had, but I think it's important to share. I'm not trying to impress just to impress upon people. But I had worked myself up in my other company. I was one of their top income earners, and I began to have serious misgivings because of things that were going on there. It was just obvious that things were changing, right? And I was worried about the people that worked with me, very worried, not just myself. But the very same week, and I do believe in things like this, I had an offer from another jewelry company, and I had an offer from Park Lane. The other jewelry company was absolutely beautiful product, as is Park Lane. I'm going to share with you why I chose Park Lane, okay? One reason is because we are a full-service jewelry company. What that means is we have something that appeals to every single type of taste, from natural stones to silver, gold, everything in between. Most of the jewelry companies have kind of a niche market. The one that I was looking at definitely had a niche market. I won't say because then you would know what it was. But most companies, they're either all silver, or maybe they're all charms, or all Swarovski crystals, right? Or all like trendy and boutique style, which is great. But again, that's limiting your demographic. I absolutely love that Park Lane has something for everyone. And my customers say that to me. This is what I love about it. I love that whoever I invite is going to be able to find something that they like. I think that's amazing. We've been around the longest. I don't think it meant as much to me then as it did 4 or 5 years ago when quarantine hit. But we've been around since 1955. We have already soared and grown through every kind of tragedy in that amount of years. And we're cash rich and we're debt free. That sounds wonderful especially to me when I saw my other company having troubles, but we know we're going to get paid every week, which is very comforting. But even what I can tell you guys from experience that even is another advantage of that is we get so many advantages. We are such one-uppers because the best stylists or designers, the stone houses, the chain houses, they all want to work with someone who's going to pay them cash, right? Somebody that they can count on. So we very often get just the cream of the crop and the very best deals and can be some of the first people out there because of our reputation and our credit, which is amazing. We're able to have these really rich programs because we are cash rich and they've been so smart along the way. Nobody can match our programs. I'm not saying that to be like, I'm saying that literally because it's true. Nobody can match our program. So we have a customer sale that is bar none the most generous in the industry. It doesn't change. It's buy 2 items for regular, get 4 for half. Right. The 2 regular are your least expensive items. Other companies can't afford to do that. And then we throw in our extra things like, and when you spend $60, you get an item for $30 of anything you want. And people just go, yay. And what's really fun is it's very, very easy to, look at my, it's very easy to repeat. Oh. So we love when stuff is shared. So when other people are out there, not just wearing the jewelry, but saying, oh my gosh, you should hear about their sale. This is good stuff for us, right? It's like starts the conversation going. Then we have like a host program, which is like if somebody decides to refer us to their like friends and family and get us together on a Zoom or a Facebook show or in real life, we're going to reward those people and we reward them tremendously, more generously than any other company. When in my last company, if we did a really great show based on how much we sold, my hostess could pick out $100 of free stuff. We go into our shows knowing it'll be at least that. Okay. And the average is anywhere from $300 to $1,000 in free and discounted jewelry. And again, please roll back to when I said people wear our jewelry. How great is it that Park Lane is so generous with the sale and with the hostess program that more and more people are out there wearing not just one piece of our jewelry, but every day different pieces of our jewelry. And then, of course, it's the profit program. And you can be the nicest person in the world, but really bottom line is you're probably listening because you want some extra money. So you may as well work for the company that pays the best. We start people at 30%, but we can go to 50%. And based on what I just said earlier about our Appoint program where people get recognized for experience, they can start as high as 50% of profit. And that's just the start, you guys. We have weekly bonuses, we have monthly bonuses, we have quarterly bonuses. And then we have all of these programs where, like, for example, we can earn up to $1,000 in free jewelry every month. I don't think I've ever missed it. It's very doable. Well, if you are a buyer right now, the smartest thing you can do is become a seller. Because imagine if every time you placed an order, you also got paid every week, minimum of 30% back, and it all went towards you being able to pick out more free jewelry. It's craziness, right? Okay, so really, really cool. We have trips. So we have 2 travel trips a year. These are huge incentives for a lot of people because they don't justify spending money on something like that. I have loved that by doing my job, I am making money and also earning trips that I can go on for free. There's a car program. I could just go on, but quite honestly, what happens is that our CEO never wants us to be lacking. He wants us, his people, his family, to always have the best. So he watches and he puts programs in and he makes sure that we have everything. And yet, what other companies do, almost every single one, in fact, I haven't found one yet that hasn't, is they have minimums. They have a certain amount that people have to sell every single month in order to keep their status or their title or their discount or whatever. We don't have that at Park Lane. We have no monthly quotas. You do it as little or as much as you want. You decide. And he said that's the only way that it's really our own business. So hopefully all those things, like, people are like, wow, because I was.
Because it's mind-blowing. There's so many things we can talk about, but it's mind-blowing. And it's just, it gets better and better and better the more you learn about it. That's what I found with this company. The Direct Appoint program, though, if anybody is watching and you are in this industry as a leader and you're frustrated, talk to us. let us
Yep.
at least interview you. You don't
Yeah.
have to, it's just an information gathering session. Let
Yeah.
us interview you. We will offer you a lateral position if you're a good fit. I mean, we just
Yes.
will. And that's
And you
how
don't need
all
to
of
stop
us
what you're doing. You know,
do.
we're a
No,
company that we're like, we don't care if you're doing other things. So for
right.
goodness sake, yeah, I think it's great.
So, okay, it's the beginning of summer. Kids are out of school. Teachers are done teaching for the summer. Why now, Mary Grace? Why is
That
now?
was really interesting that you just said that because, as you know, I was a teacher, and
Yeah.
this is an amazing time for teachers to jump in the pool. It really is because, you know, I taught summer school 1 year, and I told my husband, I'm like, I am never doing that again. It was not worth what I got at the end of
Not
the
your
summer
thing.
for taking my whole summer. We need a break from the kids. So it really is just a nice break, and a break from the kids, whether you're a teacher or not, your kids are home. It's really neat because you're with them all day, and maybe you can do like a couple evenings a week online or in person, and you could be like, have some socialization, build your own thing. It's a wonderful time to get into this. We just dropped a summer capsule, and then our fall capsule will come out like within 4 weeks or something like that. So what a great time to just get in, train, be able to offer the new book to the people for next time. It's really awesome. And you've probably all been waiting for this. I should start with this, but it's only $99 to start. And that $99, you know, a lot of people charge something like that. And that's just, okay, now you have a website. Well, yeah, you have a website. You have access to the back office. You have all the tools that you need, including thousands of images that you can use online to run a business.
Yep.
But you also get to pick out $600 worth of jewelry right now.
Yep.
So for $99, you get to pick $600 worth of jewelry. That's just craziness. And that's how you get to start your business. The $99 is a write-off, a tax write-off right away, because now you're a rep, you're not a customer. And the very best way in the whole entire world, regardless of what you want to do with this business, the best way to get started is to have what we call like a promotional opening, like a promotional show. If you can do in home or in a restaurant or something, that's the best, because when people can see it in person, even if you want to do online for the future, it's great if you can get it. If you can't, you can't. Zoom and everything else works too. But you want to have a promotional party. So let's say that Janine invited me into Park Lane. She would do my party, but everything she did would be for me. Everything. Yep. Okay. Yep. So I would get paid, not her. I get to pick the free hostess jewelry, not her. Okay. So not only did I pick 600 for 99, but I also get to get all the additional hostess jewelry. And all of these people who are now interested in Park Lane and excited about it, now they're my customers. You know, maybe they used to be Janine's, but now they're mine. Yep. They're mine. They go into my Facebook group. They do repeat business with me. They have shows for me. So it is like such an unselfish, amazing way to get people started. And you do get paid. So remember that $99? If you have anybody that's a little just sketchy about that, you get paid. So by the time your credit card is due, you already have made way more than $99 back from that show that you did. So it's I can't think of any other way that we could absolutely offer. And what I always say is, I know people are afraid of risk, but with a deal like this, the people, you are not taking the risk. Park Lane is. Right. Park Lane is taking the risk, not you. I think that's comforting.
Very. And, you know, you also usually mention something about us leading with a carrot. And I think that's what's important here, because I think people are gun shy. They're afraid. There's a lot of hoaxes out there.
They've been let down. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been let down by others. So, I mean, answering all of these questions for everybody is super huge. And I can't thank you enough for every week showing up and answering for these people. I really appreciate it. If anybody has a question, you can pop it in the comments. We'll wait a couple seconds. We did go a little bit over, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always think I'm doing better and better, and I'm
Don't
not.
say you're sorry. I think it's just that much information to fit into the 20 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
So if you have any questions because you listened tonight and you're interested or you want further information, we're going to direct you to contact your stylist who invited you here. And if they need help, they'll come to us and we'll help them. No problem. So Mary Grace, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And I'm going to say one last thing, even though we went over a little bit, but I think something that sometimes holds people back too is a fear of not knowing how to do it. We got you.
thing.
Okay. We
do.
gotcha. We teach you what to do, and I'm
Yep.
like, oh my gosh, if I can do it, anyone can do it. So don't
Yep.
be fearful about that. Successful people
Agreed.
just say, I'll figure that out later.
That is very true because people always thought from the time I started this business, oh, I can't be like you. I can't do what you do. They didn't
Thank
see
goodness.
my knees knocking. Like, thank goodness, right? I always think that, but they didn't see my knees knocking behind that table. It was very nerve-wracking in the beginning because you just don't know what you're doing. It's the fear of the unknown. But after you do it a little bit, you get over it.
Everything
So
you want is on the other side of fear.
everything you want is on the
I'll
other side
leave you
of
there with
fear.
that little nugget. Thanks so much for joining, everybody.
Bye,
Good to
everyone.
meet ya. Bye.